Do you often find yourself struggling to control your emotions? If you tend to lash out far too quickly, this is the video for you. Today we'll talk about what you can do to stop overreacting so much. We'll give you the tools to become the master of your own emotions, and more importantly, your actions. If you stay until the end of the video, we'll talk about 3 fantastic books you can read to help you overcome overreacting. Welcome to our channel, where we talk about issues relating to mental health, self-improvement, general medical problems, and the journey to overall wellness. We put out weekly videos on these topics, and our content is based on scientific research and our experience as physicians practicing both Western and Eastern medicine. If this is something that appeals to you, be sure to like this video and stick till the very end to see if this is something you want to subscribe to. Without further ado, let's head straight into the main topic of today's video: how to stop overreacting. Number 1. Eat something. Many people don't realize how closely connected our mental and physical well-being are, but you cannot function well mentally if you are physically unhealthy. Just like any other organ in our bodies, our brain needs nutrients to function. If our brain doesn't have enough proteins, vitamins, or other nutrients, tasks such as rationalization, emotional compassion, and basic thinking become much more difficult. We would recommend eating a breakfast packed with ingredients that boost brain power, such as oatmeal, egg sandwich, or avocado toast. Number 2. Pause to analyze the situation. Just take a moment to think about what's going on. We understand that in some circumstances, this is easier said than done. But where at all possible, try to pause. Use this brief moment to breathe. Ignore what is happening around you, and allow your mind to gather your thoughts. Try to rationalize what is happening, and tell yourself to keep calm and not overreact. Number 3. Try to understand the other person's perspective. Often, understanding other people's point of view is very difficult, and sometimes it's completely impossible. Even if you can't understand their point, just accept that you don't know their rationales, and don't jump into any conclusions other than, I don't know why they're behaving the way they do right now, but there must be a reason. Think about what might have led them to have the view they have. What information or life experiences could have resulted in their actions on this day? Chances are, their behavior, however harmful the consequences, was not a direct result of your interaction, but of something else that happened to them before. Number 4. Learn how to express your emotions. Not overreacting does not mean being a robot who never feels any emotions. But, although you cannot control your emotions, you can control how you express them. When you show others how you feel, make sure you do it in a way that others can understand. People need to know if you're upset, angry, shy, scared, etc. Try to be proportionate. If it's not a big deal, don't overreact. Don't act like your loved one has just been in an accident if someone has only left the toilet seat up. And be respectful. There is no need to make it worse than it is. Always aim to show as much respect as you can. Number 5. Understand why you feel so strongly. Our passionate beliefs and opinions often come from our life experiences, which you can't expect others to automatically know about. For example, someone says, "You've been to McDonald's 3 times this week." For you, this is upsetting because maybe you've dealt with negative body image your whole life, and you're just starting to accept and love your body. However, the person who made the comment couldn't possibly have known that. It's essential to understand why specific actions or statements upset you, but it's equally important to realize that other people are not mind readers. Number 6. Question if this person is worth arguing with. One of the most common times people overreact is when arguing with others. With the rise of social media, we can spend all day online arguing with strangers about topics that don't even matter. But you must accept that some people won't change their minds. This could either be because their opinions on the topic has become so entrenched in their personality that changing it would present a much bigger task. Or they might be too stubborn to admit they're wrong. Another issue could be that you cannot articulate your point well enough. but that's a topic for a whole other video, which is coming soon in our channel. Number 7. Seek professional help. If you find yourself overreacting more often than most people, it could be that it's not entirely your fault. If you have a mental health condition, like anxiety or a personality disorder, you are more likely to overreact than most people. Different forms of help will help different people. For example, you can have therapy, counseling, or even medication. At least an initial consultation with a psychiatrist or psychologist may be in order. Number 8. Identify your emotional triggers. One of the most important things about overcoming overreacting is to work out what causes you to react as much as you do. Your emotional triggers could be anything: certain people, memories, places, or even tones of voices. When you identify what makes you react, you will be able to stop them, realize it's a trigger, and not overreact when the situation makes you want to. Number 9. Don't jump to conclusions. As humans, we often have a habit of making stories using what we know as the foundation and what we think to fill in the gaps. For example, if someone bumps into us, it must be because they want to show how much they hate us and don't care about us. We don't even stop to consider it may have been because they are naturally clumsy. Like it or not, you can't read people's minds. You don't know their intentions. There is no point in making a situation worse than it is. Number 10. Accept that bad things happen. It's essential to understand when a situation is terrible. Some self-help guides will say that you need to tell yourself that everything is going to be okay and you have nothing to worry about. We would not recommend this. Telling yourself that a big problem is a minor inconvenience will not improve the situation. However, no matter how bad a problem is, all you can control is yourself and your actions. So don't overthink all the what-ifs. And if you can't control it, just accept this lack of control and move on. Number 11. Be able to pick out what you know to be true. When you get angry at what you think someone meant or what a situation means, it can be helpful to pause and separate what you know from what you think. If someone rejects you because they're too busy, this does not mean they think you're an awful person. It just means that they have decided you're not the right person for them. When someone leaves the toilet seat down, they are not out to spite you. It's just not in their intrinsic set of habits. Of course, we're not saying your thoughts and assumptions are always wrong, but it's important to separate what might be true from what is true. Number 12. Know thy enemy. When you overreact, it's essential to know exactly what emotion you're feeling. It is not enough to just be aware that you're not happy. If you don't know the name of your feelings, you will be unable to control them. So ask yourself, how do I feel? You may feel anxiety, stress, anger, escape, or other negative emotions. Once you know what emotion you feel, you will be in a better position to control it and work towards reacting appropriately. Number 13. Deal with the issue. Not overreacting does not mean ignoring the issue and pretending it doesn't exist. When you feel like lashing out, an excellent question is, what is the problem? Once you can fully articulate the issue, you can think and figure out the cause, enabling you to come up with a solution. For example, let's say you are stuck in traffic. The problem is that you cannot get to work on time. The cause is unknown. It might be an accident or rush hour. Since you can't control the traffic, the solution is to let your boss know that you will be late today. Another example would be if someone tells you that you need to get a job when you're struggling to. The problem is that you feel like you're letting yourself and others down. The cause is a lack of a job. The solution is not to lash out at the person who brought it up. It might be to go to a workshop, improve your skills, or learn to write a better CV. Is your overreaction just your way of saying, I would rather pretend this issue doesn't exist? It's easier than fixing it. Number 14. Change your life. People who are unhappy with their situation in life are far more likely to overreact than those who are happy. Your overreaction can just be you projecting your problems onto other people. Ask yourself why you are so unhappy. If you don't like your job, what new skills or qualifications do you need to get a new one? If you're unhappy in your relationship, are you sure they're the right person for you? If you don't like your social life, how will you make new friends? Number 15. Learn better emotional control methods. You can use many techniques to get better control over your emotions and how you express them. You could also think about the impact of your emotions. How do they make others feel? What impact will it have on society at large? Some helpful techniques may include accepting your emotions, writing them down in a journal, or finding healthy ways to express them. Whatever works for you, just find it and use it. And here's the bonus part we promised before. If you want to learn more about how to stop overreacting, we have 3 great books to recommend. Number 1. Stop Overreacting: Effective Strategies for Calming Your Emotions by Judith Siegel. This book helps you to identify your emotional triggers, enabling you to learn what causes you to overreact. Spotting what makes you react is the best way to stop overreacting. It also gives you new tools to better process your feelings and express them healthily. Number 2. Triggers: How We Can Stop Reacting and Start Healing by David Richo. This book is filled with in-the-moment exercises to help you process your emotions. Often techniques sound great on paper, but they're not too helpful in real-life situations. This book guides you through what to do in problems you may encounter in the real world. It also gets into the roots of what provokes us at a psychological level. Number 3. Calm Your Mind. Calm the F down and stop overreacting. This book will guide you through the many causes and types of stress and anxiety. It also gives you applicable techniques for managing them. It's one thing to say, I am stressed. It's another to say, I have work-related stress. This book will enable you to get deep into your emotional understanding. So, what was your favorite tip from today's video? Sound off in the comments, and give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful. And don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. If you find this information helpful, we're sure you'll enjoy this other video from our channel too. Until next time, we wish you a happy and healthy day.